Let's talk about why free isn't really free. Hi, I'm Charlie, your online business manager and WordPress expert. My goal is to assist small to medium business owners build their businesses with a focus on using the internet and online technologies in an appropriate and cost-effective manner. People hire me to take the stress out of managing their businesses and allow themselves to focus on what they do best. Today, I'm going to have a chat about why I think free isn't always free and the things that you need to consider. But I'm going to set the background a little bit first. So I'm often asked if I know of free tools that can do a thing, and the answer is often yes, but. So let's have a talk about it. Do I know about a free plugin that could help me build my subscriber list for my WordPress site? Do I know about a free tool that will analyze an Excel spreadsheet? Do I know a free tool that will transcribe all my podcasts for me? Now, the answer is yes, of course. There are tools out there that will do that, and they are often free. But free isn't always free. In fact, free is rarely free, and there's always a trade-off. If you're taking a free plugin or a free tool or a free piece of software, it's normally a trade-off between it will do a certain number of things, and anything over and above that, you will need to charge, you will be charged to use, or it just really can't do all the things that you need it to do. And you have to spend a lot of time in background processes of, okay, so I'm going to use the tool to do this thing, and then I'm going to get its output, and then I'm going to have to put it through this filter and run this process and then manually check this. And that all takes time, and your time is worth something. Now, there is the trade-off between how much your time is worth, how much time you have to spend using that tool, and how much you could save perhaps if you upgraded it, or if it had a pro version that you could upgrade to, or simply using another tool that maybe cost a little bit of money. Now, I'm not saying that you should just go out and pay money for tools. You need to do your research, absolutely. And you need to be certain that the money that you're investing is worth investing. But the first thing I'm going to say to anyone looking for a free tool is, what is it you want it to do? How much time do you want to spend outside of that getting the result you're looking for? So that's the first thing about using a free tool is a free tool, free piece of software, free tool, free process, free service on the internet. If you're using a free service on the internet, you also need to consider about your own privacy, your data privacy, your client's privacy, if you're using it to save off information, etc. Sometimes the free stuff offsets its costs by using advertising. That's fine, unless the adverts really get to you, and then maybe look at upgrading. Sometimes they offset their costs by selling the data that they gather from their site, and your data is part of that. Maybe that's okay. Maybe that's a reasonable trade-off for you, but maybe it isn't, and you do need to be aware of that. So there's a couple of things that I really want to hit in that little sort of rant, I guess you'd call it. Free tools are often, but not always, good. They generally provide a general level of functionality, which is good for trialing a function, or if you just need the basics. And sometimes I've found some tools that I've gone, this is great. This does exactly what I want it to do. No, I don't need all those bells and whistles. I'm happy with it the way it is. But most free services, free tools, free plugins, free pieces of software will have a pro upgrade that you should consider. And there's a couple of reasons that I really wanted to highlight today as to why. Your time being one of them, probably the most important thing to me. That's that how much time are you going to spend making this work or keeping it working past installing it? The other things that you should consider are the extra features that you get. You might not need them now, or maybe you just don't know what they do. And actually having a look at those features, you'll go, oh, wow, I can do this and I can do that, and I can get rid of these 3 other pieces of software or 3 other tools or 3 other services I'm using and just roll it all into one. The second one is support, and support is a big one for me, and that goes into my second and third options, reasons here. Support. Post your problem in a forum and hope someone can help. Most pro software, most professional or paid software services, whatever you want to call them, will offer specific support for you. So if you're having a problem, you have the ability to go to the website generally, log a fault, log a question, and get a direct answer to it. Now, that doesn't mean you can't use the forum, but you're not relying on someone watching a forum and giving you an answer. You should be able, generally, to get an answer specifically for your issue. That then generally leads into regular updates and automated updates, particularly if you're using a piece of software that's installed or on your computer or your website. Old software can absolutely have compatibility issues, and more lately, it can be compromised by hackers. I've got a series of videos about why you need to keep your software and your plugins updated on your WordPress sites. We're seeing hacks and we're seeing compromised software quite often. We're even seeing, supported software being compromised, and the companies have been great about, right, we've got a new version, make sure you patch all your versions, get it out there. By paying for the services, you are making sure you get those notices and you're making sure that you get that software pretty early. The other thing that you're doing, and this is the other flow-on effect for it, is that you're paying the developers of all of those tools and software and however you want to call it for their time and effort. Whatever you're using, someone has put time and energy into developing it. If you are taking it for free, then those developers and those companies have whatever, that person isn't receiving anything for it, and it becomes a labor of love for them. And eventually a labor of love becomes something that they don't love doing anymore. And more often than not, they'll stop updating it or they'll stop supporting it. And it becomes old and it becomes unworkable because compatibility, or it becomes hacked and you can't fix it. But if you're paying someone, typically you're paying them to keep their efforts going, and they're putting food on their table. They're maybe sending their kids to school. Maybe they're putting shoes on their feet. Maybe they're living a life of luxury. I've yet to be able to develop software and live the life of luxury. Okay, Bill Gates maybe can do that. But most people who develop software, no. It really is a labor of love, and the money that we get in through developing software and functionality and services helps us live. I wouldn't say that we live in the lap of luxury, though. But they do put their time and energy into developing it. They've paid for their training. They've paid for their certification. They pay for hosting to make sure that the software becomes available for you so that they can upload it somewhere and you can download it and it's safe to download from. And then there's all the time they put into just keeping it up to date and making sure that the problems are fixed and addressing your problems and reading the forums and all of those things. And to me, that alone is worth every penny I spend on my professional and my paid pieces of software and my paid tools. You wouldn't expect a gardener to come out and garden your garden and have the shiniest, newest tools if you didn't pay them. You wouldn't expect them. I'm not sure I'd expect them to be able to do a very good job either if this was an ongoing gig for them, because they need to put petrol in their car to get to me. They need to have tools to be able to do the job. I can go through the list: plumbers, electricians, carpenters, flooring layers, flooring people, refrigeration specialists, And anyone who works with their hands and their skill and they need tools, you would pay them. Sometimes you wouldn't pay them happily because sometimes the pricing can get a bit high, but you would pay them, and I'm almost guaranteed that you would be happy with the job that you got. But if you were to get Bill down the road or Sally down the road to come on in and fix your fridge, would you expect that to have the same level of service, the same level of quality, as opposed to getting in someone who is a refrigeration expert to look at your fridge and fix it up for you? So free isn't always free. I've spoken about, the benefits for your developers and such, the people who are putting this out. And to me, that's a big one, is making sure that I'm paying it back and paying it forward. But there's also that trade-off for me of am I spending my time in the wisest possible way? Is using this free tool compared to using this paid tool a good trade-off? Is it worth it to me? Or do I spend the $97 US a year to get a subscription for the pro version, or this version over here, that I know will work, that I know if it doesn't work, I can go back to the support forums and say, it's not working, please help me? Or do I keep persevering with this free tool that often works, but more and more lately it's not? That's a decision that you as a business owner have to make. You as a developer have to make, service provider needs to make. So is free really free for you, or is it costing you in other parts of your business? Look, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. It's a little different pace from my normal ones. I'd like to remind you to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and ring the notification bell so that you get notice when I send out more content. And also, please leave some comments below about, what have you found? Have you got experiences where you've taken something for free and it's been absolutely phenomenal? Or have you taken something for free and it's just been a nightmare and you've had to go and redo everything again once you've found the extra bits, or you found that it's not working? Have a great week, guys.